5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Why do I feel like that's
What?
like so nothing?
You want it further back?
Yeah, just feel like thank you. Like,
All right.
oh my gosh. What's wrong with you?
I'm tired. Guess what? Another late night. Once again. Exactly what I said I didn't want to do. Here we are. It's 11:30 at night. It is, I don't know what day it is. I think it's Monday night for us.
Today's Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night for us, Tuesday morning for you guys.
It is.
Please tell me you guys saw the conversation I had with Pastor Ralph in Barcelona, España. In Barcelona, Spain.
Ooh.
Man, it's been a while since I talked to him, but just hearing the differences of ministering, coming from California, him pastoring in California, and then going to Spain. I like the way he said it's a whole different mindset. Like here, to reach the lost, it's way different because of the hurdles and the struggles that people have here is so different from the struggles and hurdles people have over there. You know, and it was a really good conversation. Hopefully you guys had a chance to watch it. If you didn't, then just check it out, watch it. You know, he's a pastor, he's a personal friend of mine, and him and his wife just uprooted and went to Barcelona, Spain 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And they anticipated X amount of months to start a house church, and they almost had to start it immediately because people began to give their lives to the Lord. And they had to, you know, do something and get together.
A beautiful thing.
Yeah. So he says everybody, it's a big city, and everybody's like in apartments. He said they call them flats.
Yeah.
And somebody else came with him from his church that followed with him from the church here in Antioch. Antioch is about 40 minutes away from here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where he was. And they got apartments next to each other. So his friend that came to join him in ministry, they have a bigger living room than his, so they use the next door as a sanctuary and his as the children's.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so bam.
Awesome.
Bam. So that way
Bam.
they could have church services and children's, and yeah, it was cool. It was really, really nice to talk to him. Really great conversation. He dropped some gems on there, you know.
Awesome. Hey, we want to wish Melodia a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, sis. Yes, happy birthday. And
A day late by the time this video comes out.
yeah, but it was well, it's today for us, and then for you guys, it's gonna be yesterday.
We're saying on the
wish her a happy birthday, guys.
We're wishing it on the proper day, but you're hearing it a day after.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's 11:30, so yeah, we're still within her birthday.
Yeah, I sang happy birthday to her though.
Yeah, I heard you.
I told her we'll be having lunch with her on Sunday.
Yeah, I was on the computer and I heard you.
Yeah.
I was in the office.
Oh my god, for the second time yawning. Oh.
Yeah.
We had a good time. We sat here with the boys, you know. Well, we actually had a Zoom meeting with one of the young couples from our online family for a good little while earlier today.
Yeah.
It was our first time meeting them over Zoom, and it was really nice to have fellowship with them online. It was really, really nice. We've been kind of playing tag, you know, back and forth, and we've been trying to meet with them, so we finally got a chance to meet with them. It was such a blessing to meet with this young couple and spend some time with them. But after that, we quickly had to run to the grocery store and make a quick grocery run, and then come back and had dinner real fast. And then we sat down with the boys, and we actually had a really good little time here conversing with them. And I think that's why we kind of did this a little bit late.
It got really late.
It kind of got late, guys, because we actually spent a good maybe hour and a half, just here in our living room, just chatting it away with the boys and just talking about stuff, and about maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours, just literally just sitting in our living room, and we just talked and talked and talked, and it just got from one subject to another, and it went on, and it was pretty awesome though, because it's not all the time that we get a chance to do that, because they're all working different hours and everything. So it felt really, really nice.
Well, those other days, all of them happen to have Monday off.
Yeah, they all have Monday off, which is cool. They have Sunday and Monday off. They all have the same days off.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really cool, guys. So it was really nice to just chat away. We talked about savings and budgeting and stuff like that, and finances and stuff. So it was really nice to talk to them for a little while. But yeah, guys, that was something intentionally done. Or was it unintentional? But then, no, it was intentional.
I had no intention of it.
I did. It was intentional for me, because I wanted to talk to them about budgeting and stuff. I had actually printed out a savings plan for them, and I really, really wanted to sit down and talk with them about it. So I kind of wanted to sit down and talk to them about a savings formula, and I was like, hey guys, I want to share this with you guys. So yeah, it was intentional for me. Remember, that was the word for yesterday, guys, intentional. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so as the night went on and the conversation continued, in my mind, I'm like, well, I'm not going to do a devotional, because I was nodding off. I had to wake up really early, because in order to talk to Pastor Ralph, they're 9 hours ahead. So I had to get up early, and we were up late last night. I've been nodding off all day. So, and then last minute, Sharon was like, hey, we can do a video. So here we are, saying hello with our cross wall, with the blue lights on the crosses. Sharon's very pink today.
You know what was cool, though? There was a few different places that we went to, and they all asked about the pink hat.
Yeah.
Right?
That never happens.
Yeah. No, it always happens with this hat.
Well, is it because it's pink and
I don't know,
sparkly or something?
Every single place that I go to with this hat, Costco's or anywhere that I go, Home Depot, Costco, it doesn't matter where I go with this hat specifically, I always get asked, like, where did you get your hat? And I'm like, we make them. And so people really, really, really like this hat.
Yeah.
And so I had a chance for one young lady that I got really, really excited, though, that asked about it. I got her name and everything, and she's a young lady that works at Dutch Brothers. And she's like, I really like that hat. I'd rock that hat. And I said, oh, yeah, then I'm going to bring you one. So she's a young girl, and because she's out there, I'm like, what's your name, And I gave her one of our youth flyers, guys. Exactly what I said. We got to be able to, take advantage and be able to hand out those flyers, for our youth. And I said, hey, this is our youth flyer. So I gave her my name and everything and my number back there, and I gave her a youth flyer. And I told her, what days are you here? Text me the days that you're here, and I'll bring you one. So I'm going to take her one of those so she can rock it and wear it. And she's all totally rock it. And I said, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah. When a young person shows interest like that.
Yeah, absolutely. She really liked it a lot, too. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm talking to Pastor Ralph, and one of the books that he had given me, actually, I was looking for it, but I realized it's somewhere else because I wanted to show it on the screen. Mm-hmm. It was talking about discipleship, and it's so hard, man, to translate discipleship from back then to now.
What's the name of it?
I don't remember the title. Something discipleship, but it's like it's a trip because so many people try to say, this is how you should disciple. This is how you should disciple. And I wonder myself, because they're like, oh, we got to do it biblically, but how can you? I mean, Jesus literally walked around with these guys and they would sleep under a tree.
Yeah.
They would, and that's just not,
I think
in this country, that doesn't work. It doesn't translate. Because they basically, you're going to leave your wife and your kids to fend for themselves?
I think it's different everywhere. I think it's different everywhere we go, don't you think?
What do you mean?
Like different countries.
Yeah,
everything is different. Cultures are different.
Yeah, but I mean, here in
different.
America, what does discipleship look like? Because it can't be, you can't say, well, I'm going to disciple exactly the way they did it back then, because then you're basically homeless.
Yeah.
Another thing too is that Judas was the treasurer.
Yeah.
You know what that meant? That meant other people supported Jesus and the disciples because they left their jobs. Peter was married. He left his family. Oh, you found it?
That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, it's that one right there.
Yeah, discipleship essentials.
No, not that one.
No, which one? This one right here? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah, so I said the first one.
Oh, okay. Follow Leader, How Jesus Made Disciples by Ralph Gonzalez.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I do have the book. Guys, when I receive a book, it's usually, I'm not gonna get to it till a year and a half later because I have so many books. Like I have to add it to the list, and I haven't even got to it yet. But he did give me a copy. I do want to read it. I might bump it up though, because just kind of some of the things that he shared. But it made me think.
That's what it looks like, guys. Right there. You see it? Okay, but that's what it looks like by Ralph Gonzalez.
Yeah, because I've heard people say, oh, we have discipleship classes. And then I hear other people say, well, how can you disciple in a classroom setting? Jesus discipled out there. But I'm like, so what? You're going to sell your house and just walk around with the backpack? You know what I mean? With 12 people and literally just walk, so... Man, I think it's one of those things that you can't literally do it the way they did it back then because it was a different time.
Yeah, it's called Follow the Leader, How Jesus Made Disciples.
Yeah, because if you're going to nitpick like that, let's say, so you're going to be like, well, I can't heat up my food in the microwave because Jesus and them didn't use a microwave. Well, because it wasn't invented yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how authentic can you get to where it's like, dude, you're living in 2021, not, back then,
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, how does one disciple and yet be biblical? Because perfect example, I think in a way by doing these devotionals, people are getting discipled.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yet, we've never sat in the same room. Mm-hmm. So was that considered non-biblical discipleship? Because, you know what I mean? So it's like...
Well, technically, we have never physically sat in the same room, but virtually we have sat in the same room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think I thought about it because of the couple that we spoke with today. They watch your videos. They're like, man, we've learned so much.
Yeah.
And I don't think they even comment. They just watch. But they wanted to talk in a Zoom. And we did. As many of you guys, we've talked to you guys on Zoom. We've talked to you guys on the phone. I remember Adam, the first time he was having some sickness, and we called and prayed for healing over the phone. And that was the first conversation we had with him. Remember that?
It was the same thing as me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Pseudotumor or Chiari?
No, Chiari.
Chiari? Yeah, Chiari
Yeah.
malformation, yeah.
And he was having the same symptoms and it was really bad. So I think so I'm just like, I think that when somebody says we have to discipleship biblically, it has to be further and deeper than just hey, let's just leave our houses, get a backpack, and let's just go across country, make fires when it's cold and catching fish and cooking them over a fire. Like, it's got to be deeper than that, because the Bible is supposed to be timeless. It's not, the Bible isn't limited by, we got to dress like they did in the times of Jesus and wear sandals and, no, the Bible's timeless, and I guess it just made me think about that and the couple we talked to.
But I think the thing is that we're created to just be who we are at the time that we are. Just be who you are.
For such a time as this?
That's exactly, though you took the words right out of my mouth. We are created just for a time, just as this. And to be who we are, exactly who we are for this moment in time. That I think that's exactly what it is, Yeah. It's like, I think a lot of people try to change things and want to recreate things, and the thing is that you just gotta live this day, this moment, and stop trying to live in yesterday or stop trying to live for tomorrow, and just live in this day and this moment right now.
Yeah.
That's why they say, salvation is now, is this moment, this time. Don't wait to surrender tomorrow, surrender now. Yeah.
But, even like I was talking to Pastor Ralph again, and I sat with that man 2 times in my life. The first time was at Chinese food. The second time was at a taqueria. I still remember. I can go back to those places over there in Antioch, off one of those exits, where I sat with that man, because I was just starting and he was a few years ahead of me, pastoring. And so, it was a big deal, and I could tell you the times I've sat with Pastor Larry. I could tell you the times we've ate with Pastor Scott in Fairfield, you know what I mean? And those are huge, huge moments for me. When I got out of prison, remember I told you I would go to different churches?
Yeah. And you'd make a beeline for the pastor.
Yeah, I'd make a beeline for the pastor. A lot of times, these pastors were busy with their congregations. People are talking to them. I would sit and wait. I sat and waited.
Determination, guys.
I sat and I waited, and not knowing what kind of answer, and I would always have the same word. And I would wait. Sometimes I had to wait 45 minutes because they're busy.
Yeah.
They're greeting people and saying bye to people and whatever else, and that's their congregation. And then here I come, like, hello, Pastor. I just wanted to let you know my name is David Rocha. I just got out of federal prison. I gave my life to the Lord in prison. I know the Lord has called me to preach, and I want to make myself accountable to men of God. And is there any way I can have coffee or lunch with you? That was boom. Exactly what I would say every single time. Because it was a big deal for me to sit with the man of God.
And a lot of the times, what were their answers?
Yes.
And see,
every time. And not one turned me down. And
see, isn't that beautiful, guys? Doesn't that show you that perseverance will always give you results?
Yeah.
A lot of the times, and I think that, and that's a big virtue, is patience. It's a big deal. Patience is a big virtue, and a lot of the time, perseverance is sometimes looked at bad sometimes, but the thing is that it's actually,
I was persistent.
But that's patience and that's perseverance. But that's the thing. Patience is perseverance, but in a good way, because people can take perseverance in a bad way. But the thing is that perseverance is actually a good thing because it's patience.
Yeah.
You're persevering, but having patience, and I think that's a beautiful thing because it always brings results.
Yeah. I think there was only one that it was the 3 crosses, the big church, Castro Valley.
Yeah.
And he didn't turn me down. It was more like I just didn't feel like I would click with him. I don't know, for whatever reason. But I did go up to him, said everything I said, but instead of saying if I could meet with him, I just said, I just want to thank you for everything that you're doing, and I just kind of left it like that, but he was very pleasant to me.
Yeah.
Actually, I was still in the halfway house. That's why I didn't do that, because I didn't have, But even then, though, even while being in the halfway house, I still approached him and said that, because it's a big deal for me, to sit with the man of God, and just like, because no matter what, they were gonna drop gems no matter what, even if they weren't trying. In the middle of biting a burrito, me so hungry to have accountability, and just when I see somebody that is following after the Lord, I want to attach myself to them.
Well, see, that's the one thing that I told this young lady today, because it's already going on maybe 4 months or so that she had reached out to me, and we had been trying to make this happen, to meet for some time already. And it just wasn't happening. But see, the thing is, for like maybe 2 months, we tried and we were just, and the timing was just not right. It was just not right. But here's the thing. She would stay in touch every so often. And finally, she just reached out to me one day, and we talked a little bit. But she persevered still. She messaged me, and she tried calling me. She messaged me, and she says, I still want to talk. I still, we're a fairly young couple. I'd like to talk about my marriage and our marriage, and we'd like to learn more about, strengthening our marriage and everything. She was, being persistent, and she was, she was being patient.
We basically gave them a personal devotion.
Yes,
because it was just
did.
Us sitting together like this.
It was beautiful, because, it was just one-on-one, and having that fellowship as, a married couple to another married couple, and just, being able to share with one another our experiences and everything, and being open. And, sometimes we think that that's important. And, I think that's beautiful, because, being persistent is important sometimes. It's a different thing when you have somebody who, tells us, well, we can't meet with you this day, we can't meet and we're like, okay, so what about this day? What about this day? Oh, well, we're busy, we're available, guys, sometimes, but if you don't make the time for us either, then what can we do? There's only so much you can do, we're here, but later on, when you say that we don't have time for you, I'm sorry, there's only so much to go around if you don't make the time for us either.
Well, some of the pastors that I spoke to, obviously it's Sunday, it's their busiest day. They can't sit there and be like, oh, let me see what day I'm available. They'd be like, you know what? What's your number? And I'd be like, David Rocha, and I'll put my number, what I mean? Because obviously they're not going to figure it out right then and there. And all of a sudden, I remember specifically the pastor in Lathrop, off the freeway, he called me. And he's like, hey, he goes, I'm available right now. You're in Tracy, right? I said, yeah. He goes, can you meet me in Manteca? I'll be right there. I don't care what plans I had. Because the man of God was calling me, and I wanted to have that friendship. I remember, because I had, by that time I was out of the halfway house. I was at my mom's. And I'm like, I'll be right there. Boom. Jumped in the shower real quick, 5-minute shower, made a beeline, and I met him. Because I was hungry. And it's awesome when I see that happen now, because like we went to Phoenix, Trinity drove over 4 hours to be with us.
Yeah.
Janiyah drives 4 or 4.5 hours once a month to come to the service. And usually she has to drive right back after, because she has a family, she has a husband. She doesn't even stick around to eat because it's such a long drive, but she just wants to be there. Yeah. And it's
and we have like a, Blue and Daniel, who they just, attach.
An hour and a half.
They just want to be with us. They even want to come make risotto every Sunday practically. They're all like, we want to just go cook, we'll go cook at your house. We just want to spend some time with you. And Man.
You have Danny and Margaret drive almost 2 hours for service.
For service.
You know, I mean,
we'll take any. Why do you guys think that we just love to fellowship, man? And if we see you after service, after we're done doing what we have to do, and you're there, we'll be like, y'all want to go eat? You guys want to go do something? Let's go, you know? And yes, do we go home tired after? That's okay, though, because it is so worth spending time just fellowshipping and just breaking bread together and just hanging out.
What's the brother in East LA? We met him.
Oh, Plebe?
Yeah. That brother,
Plebe Joe.
He knew we were in LA, and he's like, I want to meet you. I really want to meet
Osvaldo.
You know, and he made a way, regardless of his job, regardless of whatever. He's like, can I meet you for coffee? You know, and
he met us there.
He made a way, and then he reminded me of me.
Really?
When I would want to meet pastors, you know, and it's humbling. That's the word.
Humbling.
It's humbling, you know, and it's a beautiful thing, you know. And like I'll be honest with you, man. If I was like at House of Rest, and I knew that pastor's in about an hour and a half, he's gonna go have a burrito or something, I'm gonna stick around. I don't care. I'm sticking around.
I used to be like that.
That's just the way I am, you know.
Guys, you know, I'm gonna say something, and you know, if it ever does get to, you know, to the people, it gets to them. But I told David this before, that I used to hunger to be around my pastor's wife. Like, remember I told you that? Mm-hmm. I used to want to be around her so badly. Like, but she would be like guarded all the time, and you know,
guarded
like there was always people around her, and the moment that she
physically guarded,
like, you know, they always would take her bag and they take her into a green room. Really? And yes, you know, and they take the pastor right into the green room. And even after, when I got into leadership, I got into hospitality just so that I can get the nuggets and I can just be in the green room. That's what I got into hospitality, because I wanted to be able to be around the leadership so that I can, take in as many nuggets as possible, because I wanted to be around leadership and I wanted to grow, you know, and I was just hungry, you know. But every moment that I could get involved in anything when it came to leadership or being around my pastor's wife, I try, you know. But having a relationship with my pastor's wife, having like that friendship and relationship like I do with like Naomi or Rihanna or Reina or, you know, or Melody, or just a regular friendship, I didn't have that. Like, I didn't know what that was like.
Yeah.
And I remember one time, you know, that, you know, I remember that I ended up, I don't remember how, but I think it was a small settlement that I had. And I was like, oh, I'm going to give my tithes. And I got all excited, you know, and everything. And then I'm like, I'm going to give a special love offering to my pastor's wife, but I want to give it to her personally. And I want to tell her that this is for her, so she can go shopping for herself, you know, and maybe she'll invite me to go shopping with her, you know. And I thought, well, maybe this is an opportunity for me to take her shopping for herself, you know, so she can buy herself something, you know. And I remember going in there and just giving it to her and saying, you know, this is for you. This, not for the church, nothing, but this is just for you. I want you to spend it all on you, and I want you to go shopping. And I was just hoping, like, for her to say, like, do you want to go with me, you know?
Yeah.
Or something. And, you know, she just said, thank you so much. And like, okay, thank you, bye, you know? And I remember that I was just so heartbroken because...
Did she know that?
You know what? No, she never knew.
Maybe she'll watch this video.
I know, who knows? But you know what? It's funny because still to this day, I do talk to her once in a while because I'll reach out to her sometimes. I sent her, remember a few months ago, I sent her some flowers. Mm-hmm. But that was the thing that I never had a chance to build a relationship with her. I long that. And I think because of that, it made me realize that I never want to be that, you know? And I think that's why I'm such a big goofball, and that's why I'm so different, because I don't want to be that person. I just want to be different. I just want to be myself, and I just want to be that person that I can cook with, that I can have fun with, that I can, you know... You learn from things. You
know, my parents went to a handful of churches growing up, but I've always shared on the pulpit, Hermano Gonzalez, the one with no fingers.
The one that would spit?
Yeah. to me, I haven't even asked my parents, like, who did they consider their pastor in those years? Mm-hmm. But I just felt like it was him. At least if somebody would say, who was your pastor growing up, I would say him. You know, even though I wasn't a Christian, you know, but I believed in Jesus and I respected him. But I bring this up because it was a small church. Maybe, man, if it was full, it'd be 40 people.
Really?
But I always saw my parents fellowshipping, laughing with him, sitting with him. That, to me, was a pastor.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with this pastor that was untouchable.
So you had that example.
Yeah, I didn't know any other way. To me, it's odd when a pastor... It's just odd to me because I saw that growing up. I saw, you know, I just saw it. You know, I remember just him sitting there on the couch or the chair, and my dad and everybody.
See, and that was, and for me, I would just get so excited when I would get chosen by my spiritual father, my pastor, when he would be like, can you come make the bow for my Christmas tree this year? And I would be so excited. Like, I became his bow maker because I would get chosen to go make the bow for his Christmas, you know, trees, because he didn't want nobody else to make the bows but me, you know, because he's like, Sister Sharon, I need you to come make my bow this year. And I'd get so excited, you know, because I'm like, I get to go to the pastor's house and I get to make the bow for their house, you know. And then from there, I'd be like, you know, do you need help cleaning your house? You know, and I'd go and I'd clean the house, you know, and that's my way of being able to be there. And then I'd go for some Bible study sometimes and for, you know, just specific things, but it was never, you know. You
know, I'm going to share a secret with you guys. I don't know how to act when you guys visit the church. You know, when you guys travel a long ways and visit the church,
it's humbling.
I don't know how to act. I really don't, because I'm just like you flew from Ohio? You know, like, wait, yeah, right?
Yeah, like Sheila's from Ohio.
Yeah, so I don't know how to act. You know what I mean? Because I'm almost embarrassed. I'm almost like, because even some of you that drive, and there's some of you that have shown up. Maybe you've came once, maybe twice, and you come and you talk to me for about 5 minutes, and I ask you to stick around. I'm like, hey, stick around, you know, because you introduce yourself at first. Hey, I'm so-and-so, you know, and I watch you, and I'm like, yeah, I see your name. I said, hey, do me a favor. I'm going to be real busy right after service, but stick around, man. Let's go catch a bite. Let's go eat, break some bread. And then I don't see you. You know, you have no idea how much that humbles me and how excited I get when you visit. And then when you do talk to me after, you talk to me like you're in a hurry, as if you're bothering me. And I'm just like, you came all the way over here to spend time with us. I'm not pushing you out. I'm not pushing you away. Mm-hmm. I want to go, let's go eat something. And trust me, man, it's not restaurants. It's not 5-star restaurants. We're going to go to the taco truck, or we're going to go to,
We're gonna go to Juarez, the Juarez restaurant.
The Juarez restaurant,
A little hole in the wall.
or if we really want to eat nice, we'll go to Javi's. You know what I mean? Which is
a bigger Mexican restaurant.
yeah. You know, I mean, what, it has a fancy aquarium, but you know what I mean? But guys, it really, I don't know how to act because it trips me out that somebody would put gas in their car. I mean, Janaya comes, gets a hotel room once a month just to attend service and doesn't even stay to eat because she has a 4-hour drive home. That blows me away. I don't even know how to act. You know, it's humbling. It blows me away. And then when we went to Phoenix, and it wasn't just Trinity, how many people showed up? And I'm like, oh, you know, hey, you should attend here. Attend here with Tony Michelle. And they're like, oh, I'm 4 hours away. I'm 5 hours away. You know, I'm 2 hours away. And I'm like, you came to see us? Yeah. And they're like, well, you flew to see us. You know, and it's just, it's beautiful and it's humbling. And it just, I get it because that would be me too. That would be me, man. Because every service I went to, every church I visited, before I pastored a church, every church I would go to, I hung around, I stuck around, I you know what I mean? I did sort of settle for a little bit at Victory Outreach here in Stockton. You know how many, I almost ate dinner with that man after service. I probably bothered him. Well, maybe not. Maybe it humbled him. You know, because he would come to me and he's like, hey, what are you doing right now after service? But I don't know, go eat. He's like, come eat with us. You know, and almost every Sunday, you know, and he would call me. He'd be like, hey, what are you doing? I'd be like, I'm at home or here. He goes, hey man, you know, why don't you come by? I'm in the office. You know, Pastor Robert Mayes, he played Indio in the Duke of Earl movie. If you watch Duke of Earl movie, he played Indio. He's the protagonist. He's the guy that's trying to kill the Duke, you know? And it's just beautiful, man. And I always would make time. I don't care if I had plans or not, you know, because that was my desire, you know, is fellowship, you know? So, but yeah, discipleship. What does it look like in 2021? What does it look like? What's it going to look like in 2022? You know, and that's kind of where I'm thinking, like, what does discipleship look like? True discipleship, where you build up leaders. Sometimes I'll have ideas and then it doesn't happen. And I'm like, well, maybe that wasn't the right way. That's why it didn't happen. But
you know, I'm for like the first time, I'm really, really excited. I'm really excited because I remember telling David last year, I remember telling you, man, I remember when I used to work in the nursery, back in the last, you know, in the last ministry that I was involved in for so many years. I worked in the nursery. I used to change their diapers and all of that. And then I kind of grew up seeing these little kids grow up to be teenagers and all of that, and seeing them, you know, graduate high school and then fall in love and then get married and all of that. And I say that to say this, that, you know, now you see them grow up and they have kids and they're still serving the Lord and all of that. But for the first time, I'm starting to now just fall in love with our kids, because we have children now that are kind of now growing up with us right now. And that's what I love, because I'm finally feeling family. You know, it's like we have a family, and now we're starting to see babies being born, and now we have children that have been with us since they were really, really little, and you know, and we're starting to see them grow up with us. And now we have, like, you know, the young ones that are kind of growing up into their preteens, like, you know, Oliver is now a preteen, you know, and And then we have Kiara that is a preteen
Alfonso's
now.
kids.
Alfonso's kids that were young and now they're into preteens. And now we have, kids that are starting to grow up with us. And guess what? Now we're going to get to see them go into their teens and into graduating. And we get to be a part of that. And we get to see that. And those are the things that, like, I long to see that. Like, my heart longs to be a part of that. And I get so excited to be a part of that. And man, that's like the Lord really does gives us the things. It gives us our desires of our heart, and that has been such a big desire of my heart. And I'm so excited, guys, because I'm just starting to see it all unfold, and I'm starting to see it happen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's beautiful.
It's a trip, Another couple is Angelica and Jose.
And Jose, yeah.
I didn't realize. Well, I know how
they
far.
Have a kitty cat now.
I know how far Rancho is, but I got to really feel how it was when we drove over there, and I'm just like, man, you guys come all the way to service, like, I remember starting the church in the beginning. And I had to go to the building. I was the one opening up. I had to turn the heater on. I had to get all the sound, everything ready, and like, it's humbling. You know what I mean? Like we go now, and it'll be like Jesse and Rachel. They don't even live in Modesto, and they get there before us.
Yeah.
And he has the flag out, and he's the door open, and
then Ben gets there early.
Yeah, the heater or the AC, whatever, depending on the season, and I'm just like, this is crazy.
Like, we've never had that. Like, we have that now. And Ben's there, and, doors are being opened, curtains are already being pulled, and I don't know. We've never known what that's like.
Yeah. Where I do draw the line, guys, just to clear it up, is they are serving God. They're not going to serve me. Mm-mm. They're not going to open my door. They're not going to carry my Bible. They're not no. All glory belongs to the Lord. So when they serve, it's to serve, because when you're serving God, you're getting the church ready, because souls are coming. Yeah. They're doing that unto the Lord. They're not doing it for me. They're not putting the flag up because of David. They're doing it because they want to honor God, and this is their place of worship. Yeah. I will draw the line, and it's never got to that, to where they want to serve us. Yeah. I'm like, oh, sorry, I can carry my own Bible. My wife can carry her own purse. Yeah. Because we are servants of God, not servants of the pastors.
That's right.
So I just wanted to throw that disclaimer in there.
Yeah, that's why I felt so weird when they brought out those chairs for pastor appreciation.
Oh, I was mad. I'm seriously.
You guys should have seen my face.
I was mad.
When they were bringing the chairs out, I was like, ew. I'm like, oh no.
You didn't even want to look at me.
I didn't want to look at him. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, no, they're not bringing out the chairs.
Do I love what everyone had to say?
Beautiful, though.
What everyone had to say? Yes. Loved it. Loved it. I didn't want to sit up there. I didn't want to do that, because how many times have you guys... They knew better not to put that chair up on the pulpit. First of all, because that pulpit belongs to who?
Jesus.
Not me. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I wasn't happy about that part of it. Anyways.
And then he turns and he looks at me.
I don't want to go on a rant.
He turns and he looks at me and he's like, did you know about this? I'm like, I did not know nothing. I knew that they were going to have a cake, and I knew that they were going to cut it outside. But that's all I knew. I knew nothing else.
Well, because the reason I looked to her, because we were so busy getting the barbecue ready the day before, and I had to squeeze in time to write a sermon. And I'm like, are you serious? You better not have known they were going to that I wasn't going to preach, because that would have been messed up, because you saw that I was exhausted and me writing the sermon for what? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't have done that though, honey.
And I'm like, that's messed up, So I loved it. I love what everyone said, but House of Rest, don't do that next year. Seriously, I'm preaching next year. You're not going to shut it down. You heard me say it. You want to have something nice or whatever, praise God. I mean, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. But service time is unto the Lord. That ain't David's time. That ain't Sharon's time. That's the Lord's time. I'm sorry. And that's the last time that's going to happen. You know, I'm just saying it. I'm just going to say it now, but I'm going to say it then, you know, because people come. You don't know you don't know who's going to walk into that sanctuary, and you don't know what they're going through, and they need to hear a word. So what they don't need to hear is not a word. And I'm not taking nothing away about what people said, man. It was beautiful. I loved it. I mean, I don't know who Sonia, JD, Reina, Melodia, Gloria, Al, Lydia. Beautiful, right? Am I missing anybody? Mm-hmm. Dale.
Armando.
Huh? Armando. Beautiful, beautiful, man. Thank you so much for the nice things that you said about me, about my wife. So please don't take that out of context, but...
I was called crazy.
Yeah. Well, no. He said... He didn't say call you crazy. He said, you drive me crazy. I'm going to hit him up because I'm still trying to figure out why he said that. So, but, guys, when it's the Lord's time, it's the Lord's time. And I know people are going to be like, well, no, you got to honor the pastor. Man, we need to honor God. Seriously, man. And after service,
it's a party.
Bring 5 cakes. You know what I mean? Bring some spread. Bring some loca mochas. I will laugh. I will.
And we'll bring
joke
Johnny's.
with you.
We'll bring Johnny's microphone and everything.
Yeah, you can.
And you're gonna rap?
No, but you know. But guys, the Lord's time is the Lord's time. You don't know who's gonna walk into that building. You don't know who's watching online.
Yeah.
What if somebody was watching? What if somebody was on the verge of suicide, and they like, oh, what's House of Rest gonna say? And there was no word given, guys. So, yeah, sorry about that rant, but I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't mean it. I do mean it.
I think that's good, you know, and I think that
I just want you to
I think
hear my heart through it.
I think we learned from it, and I think, you know, like next year, you know, maybe like you said, something can be done after, you know. I think something can be done.
Yeah, because I don't want to take that away from anyone, because that's kind of like, don't take my blessing. I don't want to, you know, I would never plan anybody to honor the pastors. You know, that's weird for me. But at the same time, the word has to be, how many times do I say, we never know when the last sermon you're going to hear or the last sermon I'm going to preach. You know, and that should be taken serious, you know, because God's word is serious. And so anyways, I'm ending that on a weird note.
I know, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, even the battery died.
I know, it just did. And I just got really dark.
I think that's a sign from God. God's like, shut up already.
He's like, hey, cut it out. What does he say?
Hallelujah.
What is it? Hallelujah.
Yeah, I think the Lord is telling me to shut my mouth already. So, all right, guys. God bless you. I still got to render this. It's way past midnight. Here we are again.
But you say it with love, babe.
What's that?
Everything that you said.
I do, man. Love. Because honestly, the best part was hearing everybody's heart, because it does mean a lot.
Of course
it does mean a lot, you know, because sometimes you never know how you impact people or how people see you. And it's nice, you know, but don't do it again. Don't do it again, man. So, what? Did I say something wrong?
Oh my God. This man, guys, he is tired, okay? Please understand that he put a disclaimer from the beginning that he's tired.
Yeah, but I ain't that tired. Don't do it again. All right, guys.
All right, we love you guys.
Bye.
Have a beautiful morning. Bye.